First of all, I'd like to say best finale ever. It was most satisfying. Everybody got their closure. Nobody died in vain. They went there and beyond with this episode. I am so happy. This is definitely one of my favorite MCU work ever. Then they ended with a nice post-credit scene to get us excited for new things in the future. Although I was just watching the series on the 13-inch screen, I cried and screamed and laughed like I was sitting in the best cinema having the most immersive experience. It requires a special kind of talent to be able to do that. And it's definitely a teamwork at its best. First of all, the Captain America suit was amazingly comic book accurate. I've seen some of the leaked toy images, but nothing came close to the real deal. It was even more awesome than the comics. The time when he was combining the shield with his wings to protect people, I straight up screamed through the roof. Sam proved himself to the people when he was a Falcon and definitely proved himself now worthy to carry the shield. People cheering Captain America to him is just overwhelmingly beautiful and emotional. It is really satisfying to see Sam didn't want the public by being physically able, but by speaking for the people, just like Steve did, just like how Dr. Erskine chose Steve in the first place. To be Captain America is not to be a perfect soldier, but a good man.
Nice job, Cap.
Thanks.
When Bucky called him Cap, I cried. Bucky was Steve and Captain America's best friend, so his approval really means a lot. Some will never admit it, but that must felt nice. And unlike the comics, Bucky didn't address Steve as Cap in the movies, so this is probably the first time he said Cap on screen. To a well-deserving man, Sam Wilson. Again, the difference between Sam Wilson and John Walker's speech is that Sam never gives speeches to appear more like Captain America, to be more of a propaganda tool. He only spoke from the experience behind him and the perception of the world in front of him, like a true Captain America would. Some comic runs accuses Steve of being too out there, not able to connect with people. And indeed, he's too busy, so we don't see a lot of Steve hanging around with civilians when he's not saving them. Besides, Steve Rogers is a celebrity and a man at a time. He doesn't have a lot of things in common with us anyways, but Sam can connect with people more. He's not as big of a star as Steve, and he's a modern man with grassroots. He was already a people person before he became Captain America. His whole family was really good to people around him, so I don't see that changing anytime soon. I'm not saying that he's a better Captain America than Steve Rogers, but he definitely is a worthy successor. The ending title card changed into Captain America and Winter Soldier. I got so emotional over this 5 simple words. We have seen a complete journey from Falcon to Captain America, and it's beautiful. Not being an African American man, but a comic book reader myself, I thought he was going to be Cap in the first episode. But this is so much more realistic and so much more satisfying for the entire audience to fully accept him to be the new Captain America. I didn't expect there to be a statue of Isaiah Bradley to be in the Captain America exhibition, but I'm so happy that that happened. It doesn't undo all the torture and misfortune that happened to him, but at least he's recognized and respected for the blood and sweat that he shed for his country. Watching that scene, a sentence just popped into my head. The nation is healing. It is really important that people are trying to be better, to do better. It is always relevant and important to remember the history and trying to do the right thing. I also love the fact that the military people started to call Bucky Sergeant Barnes, giving him the respect that he well deserved. Love how Bucky is fully himself again. He laughed a lot. He was always interested in technology. Remember how he invited Steve to go to the Stock Expo? Now he's using different apps like a pro. He's making friends. He's wearing fashionable items. For the first time in forever, he didn't need therapy anymore. He can finally be happy. He used to be so protective of Steve, and then he was being dependent on Steve to save him, and then to seeking his approval. It made great plot back then, and we can all see that their bonds are so emotional and moving. And I do love to see them hang out together. I really hope that we could see more of that, but that's not happening anytime soon. But everybody is their own man or woman. So I am so happy that Bucky get to be his own self and not seeking anyone to save him or approve of him anymore. They mentioned that in episode 5, I think. Someone said Steve is gone. I don't know if that meant Steve is dead or is he back to his own timeline again after giving Sam the shield. But anyways, I think I prefer that I didn't talk about him that much in this show. I love Steve very, very much, but this is not his own show. Also, I just can't really deal with the fact that he might be dead of old age. But if they didn't show his funeral, he's not dead in my head. So thank you for not doing that in this show or anytime soon, I hope. I wasn't the biggest fan of John Walker before this episode, and that was an understatement. But here I am, very happy that he chose to do the right thing. He's still a good man who lost his ways. Now going off with Madame Hydra. But I think if he loses the anger issue in the future, being a dark, interesting character with a nice suit, I could grow to love him. I mean, like killing people or being bad morally was never the issue for me to not love him. It was a younger issue. I don't really like that. So, I hope he doesn't turn completely Hydra Cap though, because I really still hope that could be Steve Rogers. Unlike almost everybody on the planet, I actually enjoy the Hydra Cap run because I am always attracted to darker characters. I don't know what's going to happen next for the both of them. I assume if there will be another Avengers movie, Sam will be there, but who knows? Personally, I would very much like to have a second season of Captain America and Winter Soldier. Since there were already so many Thunderbolt members appearing to be in the MCU, who knew? Maybe like we will see Bucky there soon, being one of the Thunderbolt members. I really hope James Gunn get to direct it because he said in an interview once that he wanted to do that before the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out. I hope that's still what he wants to do, and I feel like that would be so good if we would get a Thunderbolt movie with Bucky and Deadpool teaming up. Two of my favorite characters. That would be dope. And if they get to be directed by James Gunn, one of my favorite teen movie directors, that would be really, really good. All in all, I just love this show so much. They have perfect combination of my favorite comic book reference, my new kink, Bucky hitting people, and Sam training. My favorite might be the personal non-superhero stuff that really brings the superheroes down to earth. I was always more attracted to that in the comics rather than the big action sequence anyways. Obviously, great plot, great acting, exciting actions. I can't wait to see more of them anywhere I can get.